You could be part of a fun evening and help out a great cause. It's Prospector Show on Rock 107.
So, Prospector, tomorrow night is the big night, and we will find out just how good you are at game shows.
I'm pretty amped for it now as it's getting closer. It's a huge, massive game of tic-tac-toe. It's going to be a great time, and I'm trying to work my quip brain so my game is strong. Because, when they play the show on TV, they usually call the square, and then they ask them the question, and they almost always have a quip. So I'm trying to get my quips up.
I think it'll be all right. Nep-tac-toe is happening at the Little Theater of Wilkes-Barre on North Main Street in Wilkes-Barre this Saturday night.
And it's exactly what we're talking about, a huge game of tic-tac-toe, and it helps out NEPTA, which is the Northeast PA Theatrical Alliance.
And there's some pretty big names in this giant tic-tac-toe board. We've got Scott Schaefer and Kelly Kearns from WNEP. The Times Tribune columnist Chris Kelly is in it. Shayna Baszler from WWE.
Yeah, also Aaron from Breaking Ben is in this. It's a pretty big deal. I don't know how I ended up in this group of people, but I'm kind of happy I did.
And then there's you. The goal of the event is to raise funds for NEPTA Scholarship Fund. Each year they award at least one scholarship for a high school senior who's going to college majoring in the arts or arts education, which is wonderful.
Yeah, doors open at 6 o'clock. Grab a drink, maybe mingle, check it out, say hi to people, and check out the raffle prizes. And then the games kick off at 7 o'clock, and it's going to be pretty cool.
You have a chance to be one of the 4 contestants to come up on stage and play. They are picking contestants from the audience, so get your tickets now.
Or go to, just go to www.neptatheater.org/neptacto to buy your tickets, or grab them at the door tomorrow night.
Breaking the news that's already broken. It's time for Prospector's Briefs on Rock 107.
The NFL Combine is taking place in Indianapolis. Dallas Cowboy scouts are there analyzing which players have the best speed, size, strength, and choking ability. The Who's Roger Daltrey turns 81 tomorrow. These days, when Roger says, "I'm going mobile," it's when he gets on his rascal scooter. The sons of Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley have recorded a bunch of songs together. Unfortunately, they can't release them because Gene and Paul trademarked their kids.
It's 60 Minutes meets Gone in 60 Seconds. Tune in Monday for Prospector's Briefs on Rock 107.
Pat Benatar, Northeast PA's classic rock. Good morning. It's Prospector Show on Rock 107. And Kate, strap in because it's time for a visit from the epitome of masculinity.
At least in his own mind.
It's Mr. Manley on Rock 107.
Hey, Mr. Manley here with lesson number 641 in How to Be Manly. Before the winter turns to spring, I thought I should get some skiing in. I decided on the Catskills since I've been blacklisted from most other nearby resorts. Oh, and they offer cross-country skiing, which is exactly what I'm looking for. As I was sitting by the fire on my first night sipping my brandy, a striking woman sat next to me. She said, "I'm Brandy." I said, "No, thanks. I already have one." She told me, "No, that's my name, silly." I said, "I was joking. Are you looking forward to skiing tomorrow?" She said, "Yes, but I injured my ankle the other day, so I'm not going to be doing downhill. I thought of doing cross-country instead." I said, "Well, that's what I'm planning on doing. Maybe we can meet for breakfast and make a day of it." She said, "Great. See you in the morning." The next morning, we met for breakfast and then hit the...
Yeah, you're being judged from the second you get there till the moment you leave. Good morning. It's Prospector Show on Rock 107. Now, Kate, a resume shows if you're qualified or not for a job, but the interview is more about whether you're going to click. And the people who run those interviews can get a little tricky with what they judge you on.
Someone asked hiring managers to name any special tests they use to secretly judge people during interviews.
Here are some of the different ones that they mentioned.
One of the sneaky tricks is the water test.
The water test?
It's apparently a pretty common one. If they offer you water, saying yes makes you seem confident. But if you chug it too fast, you look nervous. So say yes to the water, but just sip it.
If you're legit not thirsty, you don't get a job. I mean, look, what's the move here? Hold it up like a wine tasting? Ah, yes, 2025 municipal tap. A hint of fluoride. Oh, a whisper of lead. Come on.
Have you ever had an interviewer try to catch you in a lie?
Yeah, actually.
Like pretending to know a non-existent person at one of your old jobs?
Not that way.
They say, "Oh, you worked there? Did you know Zeke?" If you pretend you do, you're out.
Well, what if there was a Zeke who worked there? Give me a first and last, then I might know. What are these guys, the FBI? If they lie to you, though, it's okay, because they lie all the time. We're like family. Oh, the pay's competitive. We promote from within.
This one feels really D-baggish.
Okay.
Seeing if you're a team player, a manager at a restaurant said that they would leave a broom on the floor to see if a person would pick it up, and if they walked by it or they just stepped over it, you're not getting hired.
Oh, okay. I see what you're doing. A little corporate hazing here. Let's see if this idiot cleans up random trash for free. How about you pick it up? You work here. You're testing me. I should be testing you. I left a 20 on the desk. Let's see if you pocket it or hand it back.
I kind of get the reasoning for this job interview trick. Asking questions that don't have a correct answer. Hiring managers at Google used to do it a lot. One question they would ask is, how many golf balls would fit in a school bus?
How many golf balls fit in a school bus? I don't know. How many useless questions fit in this interview, man?
You need to know the exact size of the bus and do a lot of math. So
Right.
the real reason they ask is if to see people would toss out a number or think it through and explain it as to why the answer was right.
I guarantee you no CEO has ever picked up a broom or drank water correctly. Meanwhile, you and I got to jump through flaming hoops like a circus seal just to work a kick press. It ain't right.
And this one is simple and obvious, and I don't think it qualifies as a trick. Just ask the receptionist.
Okay.
Several interviewers said that they asked the receptionist how the person treated them. So be nice, or you might ruin the chances of your interview before it even starts.
Yeah, that one makes sense to me. Find out how they treat others when no one's looking. I think that's a big thing. But if you want to know the real interview test, sitting in that chair, pretending you actually care about their stupid company when all you want's a paycheck. That's the biggest trick of all.
The following rant may cause you to pull your hair out, scream at the radio, punch the dashboard. Complaints should be addressed to Loudmouth Yambag at rock107.com.
Hey, I'm Rock 107's Prospector, and here's what's got me jacked. Have you ever come across these geniuses who think they're doing you a favor by playing traffic director from the cozy confines of their tinted windshield fortresses? You know, the people who refuse to give you a friendly flash of the headlights to let you know, hey, buddy, go ahead, take that left turn. I'm feeling magnanimous today. No, instead, they're doing some type of interpretive dance inside their car, waving frantically like they're auditioning for a low-budget community theater production, and you can hardly see them because their windshield is tinted darker than a black hole. I'm stuck there, sitting in my car like some character in a Samuel Beckett play waiting for Godot or the traffic director to finally acknowledge the existence of the turn signal lever that controls the high beams. Do they think they're being chivalrous? Like they're the modern-day knights of the asphalt, guiding us mere mortals through the treacherous journey of left turns. Newsflash, Captain Courageous. We don't need some complex semaphore signaling. Just a quick flick of the headlights will do. I'm there squinting, trying to figure out if the blurry figure in the car is doing the Macarena or actually telling me it's safe to make the left turn. Dude, is that ASL or are you having a medical emergency? I just want to know if it's safe to make the turn and not play Frogger with oncoming traffic. So here's the deal. If you're one of these self-appointed traffic directors, you want to let people go and all that, do us all a favor. Save the theatrics for Broadway and just give a quick flash of the headlights. It ain't rocket science. It's common courtesy. The roads will thank you, and I won't have to sit through your one-man show every time I need to make a left turn. I'm Prospector. I'm for the people. Who's with me? I gotta go crazy, man!
Ever see the crazy guy screaming at the wall outside the Times building?
Where does this rage come from, my son?
Tweet us with hashtag #IFoundProspector and we'll come and get him. Prospector, mornings on Rock 107. Life's pretty tough right now. There's plenty of bad news, but it's not all bad. It's time for the brighter side of Prospector on Rock 107.
Who goes and gets help when Lassie falls down a well? Firefighters in East Texas saved a dog that fell down an old well under someone's house. They think he might be a stray. If they can't find his owner, one of the people who rescued him wants to adopt him.
Thanks. We needed that. The brighter side of Prospector on Rock 107. Ladies and gentlemen, grab the kids, call your neighbors, and gather around the radio.
It's now time to announce the winner of Prospector's Yam Bag of the Week, as decided by you at rock107.com.
We uncover the most baffling, ridiculous, pathetic, cockeyed, laughable, preposterous blunders in the world of misdeeds. Nominee number 1.
I think these guys watch too many old cartoons. Two men, a 19-year-old and an 18-year-old, were caught attempting to smuggle $200,000 worth of contraband into a federal prison in Louisiana using a cannon. They plan to shoot $112,000 worth of tobacco and about $90,000 worth of meth over a security fence and onto prison grounds. It's unclear if they were caught in the act or if officials caught wind of it ahead of time. We also don't know what the cannon looked like, but it had a range of over 350 feet, so it's possible that this scheme could have worked, assuming if no one in and around the prison noticed a cannon firing at the property. I can't imagine that would be very discreet. I do know the cannon wasn't antique 19th century artillery. It used compressed air, so it was probably closer to a T-shirt cannon. Both men were arrested.
Nominee number 2.
A lot of criminals have a losing record against the cops, but there's a guy in Indiana who claims he's winning more than he loses. A man named William Pete Dimers was leading police in Indianapolis on an 18-minute high-speed chase last weekend with speeds into the triple digits. They ended up on Raceway Road right by the Speedway. Eventually, he pulled over and stopped and told cops he was giving up because the officer chasing him was really good and he wanted to put an end to it before anyone got hurt. He said he took off because he's a habitual traffic offender and he always runs from the police because, well, he's good at it. He said his record is 6-3 versus the cops, but he also said he's always been able to shake the Indy police when he drives away. Until now, apparently, he was charged with resisting arrest and reckless driving.
No.
Thanks for listening to Prospector's Prime Cuts podcast. Be sure to catch us live weekdays from 5:30 to 10 a.m. on Rock 107 or online at rock107.com or the Rock 107 app, a free download for your Android or iPhone. Subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, or wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss Prospector's Prime Cuts.